In this video, we're going to be unboxing different sized cylinders that we got. So there's a couple different components to this box. We have all of the different sized cylinders here, which come in a variety of colors. And we can talk a little bit about those. Wow, that was loud. And then we have the, let's see here, these different size puzzles as well. So this is kind of a miniature version of something else that you can get in other places, but I felt like the miniature version was good for us. So there are also these little puzzles in here as well. You can decide whether to have your kids have access, and you can keep all of this in these bags too. You can decide whether you're going to keep these available right from the beginning or if this is going to be more of an enrichment activity. So let's set this aside for a minute. First of all, let's look to see for ourselves how these cylinders change. So you can see that these cylinders get smaller in diameter and circumference, and also they become shorter as they go on. So if I lay them on their sides, you can see that they get a little bit shorter each time. The blue is a little bit different in that way, in the way that they are all the same diameter or circumference, whichever one you want to say. Both are the same, or both are changing, both are the same. And then, but the height of the cylinders is changing. So they are only changing in one way. The red, you can see, become smaller and smaller in diameter and circumference, but their height stays exactly the same. Oh, and then the green starts out with the shortest one being the largest in diameter and moves to the smallest diameter, which is the tallest one. So it's almost like the opposite of the yellow. The yellow, as the diameter gets smaller, it gets shorter, and with the green, as the diameter gets smaller, these cylinders get taller. I don't think I need to give any suggestions for conversations you can have about these, because there's amazing different conversations, but really driving home that they should put them in some sort of an order. Let's try going biggest to smallest with just one color at a time, because what inevitably happens is this. They just start stacking them immediately. That's all they do. And that's kind of what this is, actually. This is stacking. So this shows that there should be a red and a green. So you might try to find the same sized cylinder as that red one, and then the green one's smaller. So it must be like this one. So you would stack it up on top of it. And the stacking is awesome. And I think that these pictures, being able to go from the symbol to this, is awesome. But I also think discovering just kind of what these shapes, how they're organized, if you go biggest to smallest, what changes about them, stuff like that. Some of the questions I had a lot were, which one's bigger in this series? And they would really stumble over that one, because this one kind of looks larger than this one, but yet this one's taller. So then we would talk about kind of attributes in a way. Well, if you're talking about how wide they are, then this one's the biggest. If you're talking about how tall they are, this one's the biggest. Also, just the process of sorting, organizing, things like that. That's all the stuff that they can get out of these ones. Not to mention, if you say something like diameter, or if they are building something and they're building it like this, you can always talk about, you know, in what way did you order them? Did you order them from smallest to biggest, biggest to smallest? You know, things like that. So there's a lot to discuss with these, especially the which one's biggest, with the green. Now, something else that's kind of fun is, and this would go in a separate box in your area, is I would suggest just putting 2 of these in at a time. And what they do is they just empty them out and then try to put them back in. So they try to figure out which one of these cylinders goes in which one. This isn't a huge conversation, except for like which one's the deepest, which one's the biggest, which one's the smallest. Now you'll see, if you can see, this is kind of the green series, just like those green cylinders right there, just in this. And you can even make that connection with them. But yeah, they have to try to figure it out. But it's best if they mix them all up, and you can talk about something else to bring up is, do these all look the same? They do look the same, but when you pull them out, you realize that they're very different, and what is changing about each one, and how did you know that this one doesn't work there? Well, because the depth isn't the same, and things like that. So there's lots of vocabulary that you can get out of these as well, and these are just more of them. So they're all different. All of them are different in their own way. So that is your graduated cylinders, or I'm not sure what we could call them, but the cylinders of different sizes. So this will be, like I said, it could be 3 stations. This could be a station, this could be, or a box, this could be a box, and that could be a box. You could even split those up between 2 boxes or so, depending on how capable your students are of wanting to clean up at the end. There we go.